I'm gonna roll a die for this. I got Father Chris. What happened last time?
Well, we departed Walston and made our way to Squalia, basically just to see the sights. And there we got into an excellent barroom brawl. Turned out great for us. And we got in, and then we realized that this place is not so great, but we were telling stories and making friends, and somebody overheard our storytelling and offered us this job here, this sort of under the table-ish job. On faith, going both ways. So we're about to do a dangerous job, or try to. We're gonna go and check it out. Did I miss any key elements? I think that's the overarching thing.
Well, I mean, the seafood was good, and you guys
real seafood, yeah.
Yeah, and you got into a bar fight where
right, I mentioned the bar
oh
fight.
Yeah,
an excellent barroom brawl. It turned out great for all of us, I thought.
Yeah, nobody lost any attribute points or anything. And
we didn't get arrested.
And you didn't get arrested. Yeah, so, and I'll also be doing things a little bit differently tonight, where I'll bring you all from scene to scene. So you've agreed to do this job. So let's start in, let's start from there. No crowd here. Your contact, Van Perlanlith, provides you the location of this is another one of those things where something unscrupulous is being done, and so you're invited to like a warehouse or like a utility area that's abandoned off of a side street in Squalia Starport. It's still at the Starport. When you get there, there are armed thugs. This is the second time you've been in this situation. They bring you in, and you're here with Vanpar Landleth, and he describes to you the job. He says that, and he offers you another bottle of clary before you depart, of course. And he says that the job is to take your ship and infiltrate an illegal McClellan concern in a planetary belt around I think it's the sixth world in the system. It's called Prartia. The facility is in the planetary belt. It's hidden. You'll infiltrate it, obtain a software package from inside of it, and then bring it back here. He has with him some data pads and things, and you can see Prartia. You can see Prartia has 2 moons and a planetary belt. And you can see that he's already kind of worked out an idea of how this would happen. He says, I think I've identified a time when this job could work best. and that's why I wanted to speak to you. Prartia and its primary moon are about to be in alignment around the belt. I believe that if you can decelerate between them, then you might be able to pull off a ruse with only minor damage to your ship. The key will be arriving there undetected.
What kind of ruse?
Right. And so he pushes this across the table. You can see this planetary system. And he's charted a course. It indicates like a path in between Prartia Alpha and Prartia toward the planetary belt, where you'll decelerate and then declare an emergency, and announce your intentions if you ever need to, that you're prospecting. But then declare an emergency, go cold so you can't be detected, and then just so happen to allow the ship to decelerate with impact near the McClellan research station, which he happens to know where it is. I wouldn't use the word crash. Now, out of character, it would be 1 roll on the damage chart if you pull it off. So just looking at this, and you can all see this, this will require very fine-tuning from the navigator. So on your navigation check when you arrive into the planetary system, to actually chart this and get it right, and very fine-tuning from the pilot, who, and if you fail, it will become apparent, because it will still take you, this is an example, it will take you approximately 2 hours from the time you begin your deceleration to the station in the planetary belt before impact. So you'll know if you're off course. You'll know if you're too fast. That means turning the systems back online, which means you could be detected if they're looking.
So this is harder than it sounds.
Sounds hard enough.
Right. Who's the pilot?
Jason.
Jason. Who's the navigator? That's not me, is it? I hope.
It's me. No, it's me. I don't know. My rolling record is not great.
You all feel up to it.
Yes.
Well, the question is, what is this buying us exactly?
As I said before, you'll have contracts coming from here.
No. I don't mean the jobs. This risky maneuver. What advantage is it actually going to give us?
This assumes that they may be looking for people approaching the station.
I see.
If they are looking, and you approach the station, they'll be prepared. My assumption is that they won't actually respond, that they'll stay silent and wait to draw you in. It's possible, based on the information I have, that they have a number of small ships.
You mean fighters?
So they might come out to investigate, you mean?
Investigate and other things, yes.
Dedicated fighters, not shipped boats and stuff.
Ship boats, yes, fighters. That's my guess if they were to try to defend the station, but I doubt that they will. I think that they'll remain quiet. If they announce their presence, then the rest of the system will know they're there too. Either way, it'll make your job a lot harder if they know you're coming.
Then there's the question of how we're meant to get on.
What'd you say?
how are they? How are we to get on the station without them knowing we're coming?
Right. You'll have to EVA. And again, allow the high and dry a hopefully soft impact-based deceleration. Unless you have any other ideas, of course. And I'll draw this as best I can.
So, you know this place exists. I'm assuming most people don't, right?
This is information that could get everyone at this table killed.
Okay.
Right now, we are some of the only people, other than the people that work there, that know that this exists.
The people that work there.
And whoever is partnering with them. I have my suspicions on who it is, but I can't be certain.
Okay. This station must receive supplies.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where it receives supplies from?
My guess is that it receives supplies in a similar way, but with less urgency than you currently have for our job. They probably have to allow a ship to silently decelerate, pretending to be a prospector, and then have people board.
I was just wondering if there was some way we could legitimately make our way. If we could, some way we could legitimately make our way on board. Smuggled or in some way.
Captain, I think that's a fine idea. Unfortunately, I don't know of anything like that. It does sound like something you could try to improvise if you find an opportunity to do that. Seems like a good idea to me. Oops.
Well, my hope is that we can come across a ship. Well, anyway. It is what it is.
And this is...
Are we gonna have to fight our way to the merchandise after we dock?
Now, I have some good news. The good news is that this research station is actually quite small. I suspect that it's only 200 meters across in diameter. And you can tell on the data pad, he knows exactly where it is. And he says, one of the reasons I'm making this move now is that I suspect that there's some sort of discord, something that's happened. I don't know if it was a crisis or an emergency. We hope to exploit it. I think that their security staff won't be expecting infiltrators. They've relied on secrecy. That's the key. I don't think their staff would have been big to begin with, but in this case, they'll be under the largest amount of strain. If I had to guess, I think this facility will disappear in the coming days.
I see.
Disappear?
Mm-hmm. There is also information that you have here. A abandoned mining. Text. Abandoned mining outpost. Nothing else of
The research
interest.
station is on A or B.
Let's see, this will be 20. I will also draw that. The research station is about here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it disappeared. Why did it disappear? Here we go.
So it's in the rings.
Yes, it's in the planetary belt. Lucky that.
And so wouldn't it be just as viable to attempt to it might be more dangerous or as dangerous. I was going to say try to maneuver through the belt rather than come at it from the moons.
So his suggestion is, and now I see that this kind of has like 3 phases, right? Like you have to depart Squalia, and you enter Squalia's local space. So we'll do space encounter checks. Your ship, he mentions that this is about a 3.5 day trip if you go at thrust 2. And then we're going to do space encounter checks. That 3.5 day check, you can change around the solar system and make it a 7 day trip if you want. Like you could come at it from a different direction. But ultimately, this planetary system, wherever you come at it from, something would be able to detect you unless you were cold for days. And even then, you need to decelerate. So his plan that he's proposing, and seriously, you absolutely can modify this if you have ideas, is that you would come at it from any direction, and as these are in alignment, you would begin your deceleration between them using both the proximity to Prartia and the moon to your advantage.
Yeah.
The alignment
actually-
of the
that's kinda
planets
messed
or
up.
the moon or whatever is going to give us some kind of gonna cause our ship to decelerate a little faster than it normally would. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you're close to a body, I believe it affects your vector a number of G's equal to its diameter, the amount of G's that the planet can produce, and depending on the band that you are away from the planet. I'm not using the mechanic for what is it called, atmospheric braking, because you would get nuked. Like you would have to get within 100 kilometers of this planet. Which this type of planet, I think the radiation would just destroy you if you got within 100 kilometers. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Huh. Okay.
Well, thank you.
So what do you?
Be on our way.
Oh, you gonna give it a try?
Well, we already took the job.
Yeah.
What
I'm
we-
good.
yeah. How we end up getting there, I suppose we'll have to see what conditions are like.
Sure.
But we need to discuss amongst ourselves, I think.
All right. Do you want me to leave this drawing up or scrub it?
Leave it up,
Yeah.
Okay.
please.
Let me see if I can do a swoopy thing here and move it over to something more relevant to you all going out to your ship then. Oops. Inside. All right, so you go to your ship, and yeah, I'll bring that back. Oh gosh, that did not work.
By the way, I don't know if anyone else is hearing any music. I'm not.
It sometimes
Yeah, the
takes a
music
while.
I am.
went off.
Yeah, I turned it off, and then it takes a while sometimes for it to go back.
Okay.
It's also, come on, lagging on my end.
My dog is losing her mind over here, so I need to take care of her. I'll be back in a couple.
All right.
I'm iffy about this whole thing. Somehow I have a 51-49 feeling that approaching, I don't know. I'm feeling kind of hairy about this either way. But I'm not sure I like the idea of this ruse here.
Oh, you could totally approach it any way you want. So I know you
Yeah,
gotta go take her.
That's the thought that Bellamy is leaving the crew with for a second while I go out. That's I'm a little
General-
nervous. I'm a little nervous about this whole, fancy footwork idea, but all right, I'll be back in a couple.
The captain is just generally he's like, I'm not sure if this will work, and then he gets up and walks away. I mean, what do you all think?
Well,
Any ideas?
navigator, pilot.
Let me give you the
You're the two
roles.
who's
So to pull
gonna
this,
have to navigate this.
yeah. So just and because I want to give you the mechanic I'm using. So 10 plus, and this works on both navigation, and navigation will occur as you're arriving into the planetary system. Piloting will occur just as you're about to cross the primary moon. For every one that you're off, it will add either like 1,000 kilometers that you're off, or where is it? 10 minutes of time that you could be detected. So you could do this partly wrong, get it a bit wrong, be a bit off, and need to light up the engines, which would be kind of where you were at anyway, you know. There's also the part of the plan where you'd soften your blow by allowing the high and dry to just ram into the nearby body that's... So, like, imagine something's here, or imagine the base is here and something's here. You're going to, like, let the high and dry just... like, like you're, like, trying to jump off. If you have better ideas, please tell me. But the whole point is that anytime your systems are on and active, you can be detected if somebody's looking for you.
Okay, well, if we're gonna jump off and do the EVA thing, my primary thought is we want to leave maybe the pilot with the ship. Because if we all jump off and the ship crashes somewhere else, that's not great. So maybe Jason should stay on the ship, assuming we actually get into this research facility, and be our ride out once we successfully steal the software package.
Yeah, and I want to make it fun for you, Jason, so I have two thoughts on that. One is, like, so long as the ship just does not crash outright and just get utterly destroyed for some reason, I'll say don't worry about it and the ship will not. It'll be one of those two, and you'll know if the ship is just going to get destroyed. Let's say it isn't. Then you could reliably EVA with everybody else, and I know that probably wouldn't make sense in real life, but I also want you to have fun and be on the adventure. Alternately,
Sure.
you could also be like that, whoever it is in, like, Mission Impossible, the one that's behind the computer screens, and you've got that massive sensor package, and you could be on the radio, and I could pan the camera back and forth between you and the crew, and you could be the one monitoring space outside and readings from the station and all that kind of stuff, you know, whichever is more fun for you.
It's called being the guy in the chair.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. So yeah, I could be the guy in the chair and stay on the ship.
Okay. Right on.
Okay, and then I just wanted to know about the using the asteroid field as cover to approach the facility. I'm curious, is there like are asteroid fields super dangerous like in Star Wars, or are they super spread out like in The Expanse? What's the kind of vibe that this asteroid field has?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, I think it is like The Expanse, and it's also like The Expanse in that it's relative to everything, you know, so spread out compared to other asteroids, spread out compared to... So compared to other asteroids, you're probably fine. Like, you know, it's a stable planetoid that they would have picked, otherwise they wouldn't have put a station in it. Compared to, you know, other ships, so time and space, I think, is really significant here. It takes you about 15 minutes to go. What is it? Wait a second, 1,000 seconds. Well, actually, let me just bring up the chart. It takes a long time to do anything. It's like submarine. It's like The Expanse. It's absolutely like The Expanse. And your navigation roll is a kind of one and done, where you'll do it way out, you know, and then you're either going to be right or wrong. And it'll have been almost a day later where you'll figure out, you know. Takes to go 10,000 kilometers takes... I need my calculator out tonight. Why would I have not had the calculator out tonight? I know I need this. 10,000 kilometers takes 23 minutes. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. Takes 74 minutes to go 100,000 kilometers. And of course, this is at acceleration, you know. So anyways, were you asking because it's like in Star Wars how they bang against each other and trying to navigate, it's always dangerous? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and I was wondering about the viability of using an asteroid to approach the planetoid.
Oh.
Like using the asteroid's cover and like getting the ship up behind it, and an asteroid passes near the planetoid, and we might be able to maneuver better, or at least have our engines on if the asteroid is blocking their sensors.
Yeah, I think that's a
but
great
if the
idea.
asteroids are really, yeah.
I'm going to say that is absolutely a possibility, except that there are two major risks. One is that they have to be close enough together to occlude you from detection, and large enough to do so, or dense enough. And to do that means that it would be dangerous to navigate, which I'll leave up to a difficult pilot check with possible impact. You know, like you are going to like Star Wars it and try to get through an asteroid field. So yeah, that's one possibility.
That's reassuring.
The other possibility, the other problem with it is you're not sure coming into it if they would be able to detect you. You know, so like maybe a pilot check, maybe a botched pilot check in that scenario. It's a chain of them. Maybe you have to pass 3 of them. You're not going to know till you get there. And you try to pass 3 and you fail 1 and you take damage once. So I roll d6 on the damage table. And then because you roll a 4 on the pilot check, they also have a window where they can detect you. You know, and you don't know. But yeah, I think that's also absolutely a possibility. That would lean heavily on, like, I think maybe a few pilot checks depending on what gets there, and I'm going to randomize it. Any other ideas? I'll even say we can hybridize it when it gets there, and as you're coming into the station, if you know you're really far off, you can be like, hey, that didn't work. Let's try plan B. And then you do that. Like, all right, let's wait till we get close to the asteroids. Okay, bring power back online. All right, punch in 2G. All right, get going on course. Hide yourself. All right, it's going to take, and then we'll determine how many pilot checks. And then you can do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, that was a cool idea.
Supposing we do get onto the planet, crash, you know, quote unquote, crash the ship, we get out EVA to sort of the surface, and we sneak to the location where this is at. Is the idea that we just walk into the station?
I'm back.
And sneak to the location and sneak out.
So this is like a gas planet. This is not a. So you won't be going to the planet. You'll be going to its asteroid field, one of its bands that has around it.
Oh, okay.
Are you assuming that our vac suits have? Do they have built-in jet capability like that?
Jet, no. So you're gonna have to. But instead, what I'll assume is that you'll have the kind of clear situational awareness at the time to be like, okay, we see what's going on. We can tether ourselves. We're confident. Like you won't have to make checks to see if you can, you know, get onto it or anything like that. Or something complicated could happen, but you'll know in being able to make that choice. While you were gone, Tiffany pitched an interesting plan that at the end, I think thought it could also be a backup plan, which is that if you're too far off course, you could attempt to try to use the asteroids to mask yourself. To put it simply, and I don't know until we get there, and I'm going to randomize it. The possibility of that heavily depends on probably a chain of pilot checks. And then, this is if you're too far off in the.
I would suggest that everybody can play a part. We have a scout ship that can scan the asteroid belt before we get there in a detailed manner.
Yeah.
Plot the course ahead of time. Navigator, we see the way we want to approach the asteroid field as we're coming in, right? And then we just plot our hidey hole course before we even get there. We don't have to wait until we're in the plane of the asteroid belt to do that. Not with a ship with these sensor capabilities.
I think that's a great point, and so what I'll say is for Plan B there, that instead of it being like a series of pilot checks, that everybody can do a more nominal check, and then you would just do the check, and if it works, then you're good to go.
You have the sensors person do something, you have the navigator do something, you have the pilot do something.
And
I'm wondering about like the sensor scanning. Like in this world, does that constitute sort of an active scan? In which case, could that notify those folks? We're trying to hide that we're out here.
It's meant to be every kind of scanner you can think of. Because the game, especially in Classic Traveler, it doesn't really differentiate. It just says a ship has a sensors package.
Right.
And as Traveler went on, they make it clear like this includes everything that you can get. It tells you what ranges you can start getting different kinds of information at and stuff, but it includes photographic information. That's why I compared it to like the space telescope or something. It depends on the ship. But
so Trellis, part of the proposed ruse is that you are prospectors. So you would announce it hypothetically, because coming into the planetary system, it's unless you go cold for like days, flip and decelerate and just stay cold for days upon days, and then even then you'll have to do some really fancy piloting and navigation for that to work. Assuming you don't do that and you're actively heading towards the planetary system, they're going to see you. Anybody would see you. So.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah. So now, in terms of my approach to like what you can get from different sensors, the glorious thing is this book doesn't tell you. The only thing it tells you is that at certain distances, certain ships will detect certain other ships, and from that, I'm probably not super likely to get into like, can I detect if the ship does this or that, and then leave it to checks. I'm probably not going to do that. But in this case, just so you all know where I'm coming from, I think once you're in the planetary system, so once you're, within a million kilometers, I think it is. It's
if it's a gas giant.
I need to have this page open.
It depends on the size of the world, I think.
Yeah, within a... well, no, that's not right. System... Here we go. Common distances. So... Yeah, no, that's true. So once you're about between 1.5 million of 1 million kilometers, you'll be able to detect things about the planetary system. And my thinking on that is based on belt strike. It's based on prospecting. And then to be able to detect things specifically about, like specific rocks, you'll have to get within that locale. So wherever locale you're at the extreme edge of it, because you're a scout, you'll be able to know about it. But you can't be 3 days out and know specific things about specific rocks, like how much magnesium is in it or something.
But could we get a rough size? Like we could probably see like the planetoids, like the things that are the size of small moons, or the things that are the size of, what range would we have to be? Still the same?
You'll know. So for stellar bodies,
While we're at the spaceport, surely there's some mining companies or something that have mapped out some of this stuff. So maybe we can look into that. I mean, I'm thinking about every angle I can here.
sure.
I'm nervous about this whole deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to spend some time?
Yeah, let's try to see if we can. Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna play the role of prospector, so if we would be wise to do that, right? It's what people. There's probably a local network of such types.
Yeah.
Unless they're all just cantankerous loners, like sometimes prospectors are, I guess.
Let's see here. All right. So you go to a bar, because that's where you get all information, right?
We have to make it look as close to the truth as possible, and we have a scouting vessel, right? We don't actually have a mining vessel.
You're probably just trying to find the rocks and then get the information out or something.
Right. So that means that there must be an economy of people who do that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, the bars. We bring up the bars, and then we'll roll after this, actually. So bars. You find where you think there might be some local prospectors. There are travelers in this bar. This bar is, let's see here. Where's my... you find a dive. It's called the it's called the Aluminum Stew. And this place, you want a place that's like this because these are all people that stay in the system. However, there are a group of there are two local security patrol types. This is an independent system, but these are like sailors, and they're at a table by themselves. And then you see a bunch of local travelers. Any number of them might be prospectors. This bar looks like it used to be a church.
Okay. Well, okay. So there's an internal system patrol of starships.
Yeah. So they
like non-jump capable local vessel.
Yeah, as far as you know, they seem to have a what's the word I'm looking for? Not intersolar ability. Now, is that controlled by corporations? Is it by nation to nation? Is it specific nations? You're not sure, but you're able to kind of infer from looking at these two that these are sailors. That is to say, they're like Navy men, but they are not Imperium, and they're not from some other political entity you're aware of that you know of.
Oh, I'd like to ask them who they serve, like who they serve under.
Okay. Let's see.
Hey, what's that patch mean? You know, I'll point to some part of his uniform and look.
Oh my gosh. All right, this may our plans may have changed. Okay, that's good news. Maybe. What's your social?
4.
Jason, you recognize this patch. You've seen it before.
Okay. What is it?
The Royal Tukara family crest. And then, as you approach them, anyways, they, sure enough, yeah, they're like, "And who are you?" You know, to Bellamy.
Oh, we're just
I lean in and cut him off. This is the Royal Tukara crest, and then I try to say something nice about their family.
Ah. Yeah. The Imperial Alliance, of course. It's a bit of a mistake that we made our way out here, but no offense to you locals, they kind of say dismissively.
Oh, we're not locals.
Sure, whatever. And they go back to talking to each other. But they reveal themselves to be sailors of a corporation owned by a royal family called Imperial Alliance.
Oh, okay. Ah. Wait, so they're captaining a merchant vessel? Or they're crewing a merchant vessel of some sort?
Hold on, let me look at my notes.
Because I mean that would be my inference. They're with Imperial Alliance. Have I heard of that company before?
Well, Jason has. They're a massive imperial mega corporation. It's perfectly possible that they're captaining an armed-to-the-teeth cruiser instead, and that it's for the purpose of this corporation. They're out in a backwater for some reason. They shouldn't even be here.
Yes, we met Sir Eldon Tukara on... the hell was that planet?
5679108.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, 567-908.
Oh yeah.
Let's say it loud enough for those guys to hear.
Oh, that's right. I remember him now.
And they say, I'm sorry, and what was his name again that you met? Let's see.
Sir Eldon Tukara.
Eldon. This catches them by surprise, and they're like, you met him where?
567-908.
One of them whispers to the other one. Ah. Very well. Well, is there anything we can do for you?
I lean in and just whisper, because I realize I'm out of my depth here, but I'm going to lean in, you know, obviously, to Jason. I think we got to know why they're here. You might be tangled up in something we don't want to be right now.
So what brings you gentlemen here? What brought your ship out this far?
A bald man, he sighs and he says, "This is all just a misunderstanding. We've jumped in here just to take on some fuel. It's a waste of our time. We're really shouldn't even be in this in this subsector." But bringing up traveler map here because now I need to talk about subsector politics. District 268 is part of a course we were plotting. Nothing I'm at liberty to say, but we shouldn't. There was no reason to be here at Squalia. We could have easily made it to other ports, but there was some sort of misunderstanding with our convoy. So we're taking on fuel here, and we're hoping to leave as soon as possible. At least I am.
What kind of ship do they have?
Part of a convoy. Are you their protector, or are you just a merchant vessel?
Oh, we are. Okay, gotta look that up too. Let's see here. Troll cruiser.
Oh, lordy.
Yeah. That's probably how he answers the question too. He's like, troll cruiser.
Gulp. Ah.
Look, you don't have anything to worry
Nice.
about from us. We're not interested in anything related to you locals. He didn't even listen to you.
Okay.
We're,
Well, yeah. What rank is he? Can I see? Can I see that? Is that displayed? You
yeah,
said they're just crewmen, but is he an officer? Or?
yeah, that's a good question. He is an officer. He's probably a deck officer, like third officer, or fourth officer.
All right, so he knows what they're doing here. Probably he's probably not. Doesn't seem like he's hiding anything.
Yeah, he comes across bored. Like, he's not going to tell you why they're here, but he's also not trying to be secretive or concerned about it. He just it appears as if somebody, as part of a more bigwig thing, has made their way out into a backwater, and he's very unhappy about it.
Any idea how long you'll be staying?
Hopefully we'll set out tomorrow. I don't know. To tell you the truth, we're actually waiting for another vessel to arrive before we can head out. So, look, I can't really discuss any more information.
Well, it's unusual. Hey, nice meeting you.
Best of luck out there, traveler.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll raise a glass to him. Have one on me, why don't you?
Okay, yeah, you buy him some alcohol.
I'll buy each of them a drink.
All right, minus 10 credits. If you ask around about prospecting, people, there's a bit of an additional problem here, and then we need to keep moving because we're going to run out of time for the adventure. Yes, there are prospectors here, and when you announce yourself as a prospector with a scout ship, there are plenty of people that want to talk to you because it would be helpful to have someone scan rocks. But the prospectors are independent prospectors. You also get the impression that there is a relationship between the belts. I think there are 2 planetary belts in Squalia, and Bowman, which is full of belts. It's just like I think the entire solar system, it might be like a binary system, and there are these massive belts that like cross the entire solar system or something. And it's just full of asteroids, Bowman is. So there is this kind of like belter culture here, and Squalia has a little offshoot of it. And you get the impression that these belters, all of them are trying to make a lucky break. And that means they're probably not going to share with you where a nice asteroid is.
Okay, well then if in that case, would any of them be willing to pay for any scans that we make of the belt on our way in?
Ah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. you will get navigation pay if you find good rocks.
Sure. What else do we have to do? So we'll just make sure that we'll tune our scanners to the appropriate whatever settings they just whatever.
Sure.
Keep taking pictures of the rocks.
All right. I hate to.
Yeah, fine.
Rush,
Move on
but
if we
I'll-
have to. I'm just trying to turn a quick buck if we can.
All right. So back to your ship. And let me get rid of this drawing and that ship. And you do your standard checks, pre-flight checks and everything. You get clearance to take off, and you depart Squalia via its underwater environment. And you go from water to thin atmosphere to space, and you are back out in space. Let's see here. Now, the first step is your course that you're plotting in the system. Do you take a direct course, or do you take one that's more circumspect?
I say direct.
What do you all think?
I think we want to get this done before that.
I think direct. We've set ourselves up as prospectors, so it would make sense for us to not have anything to hide.
All right, cool. And of course, you filed a local. Well, actually, did you? Did you file a flight plan with the
Yeah,
okay.
we're gonna do everything above board here.
All right, okay. Except that you're lying, of course, but you know.
Well, no, we're not. We're going in to take scans of the.
So then, when you come back, you'll have scans on board
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So this is how I want to do this. So you start accelerating out of the local system. The first thing I'm going to do is make your day one space encounter check.
And I'm assuming we all agree thrust 2.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
I want to get this done before that battle cruiser gets underway.
The first day you don't encounter anything under thrust 2 heading out into the solar system. I'll just ask, just generally speaking, over the next 3 days, is there anything that you all want to accomplish on the ship before you get there?
Just playing out the navigation system.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm serious about these any and all information that we come across. We're gonna just record everything,
Yeah.
and be looking at it in detail as soon as we can. I mean, we got days, so we got shifts, we got people who could be looking at scanner output and all this kind of stuff, and make the most of it. Turn it into a job.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Just
go ahead.
focus on making sure the ship's systems all are online correctly and no blinking red lights.
All right. Everything on the ship looks good except for the bad body odor smell from the filters. Otherwise, the ship seems pretty like it's humming along. Anything? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that my last will and testament is up to date. And make sure that whoever needs to know what it is and where it is knows where it is. And then I'm going to make a very good lasagna for everybody to eat.
Ooh, nice. Space lasagna. Made
Absolutely.
from probably like mushrooms and fungus and synthesized proteins and stuff.
Everything freeze-dried.
Make a, what do you think this check would be? Intelligence, I bet. Roll under.
Does he have a steward skill at all, or?
Do you have a steward?
Okay, just checking. Just checking.
No, it's a good point. I see. That's a good example. If you add steward, is that under your intelligence? 5 for Marcelo.
I rolled a 5. It is my. Oh, okay. Sorry, I gotta pull up this character sheet here. Intelligence of 10.
It's well under it. You all have delicious lasagna. It tastes like real carbs. Spikes your insulin. You get high. You kind of get that carb high off of it.
I hope it improves everyone's morale.
Yeah, in fact, I'll give like a +1 to these checks here.
There you go. Eat up, everybody.
Were you going to say something, Jason? No? Okay. All right. Yeah, so...
No, it's just that my push-to-talk key is my space bar.
Oh, gotcha. I realized that I'd prepped encounters and I can't. Not the way I want to do them. The encounter system's fascinating for this. There's a matrix for when you wouldn't have an encounter in space. So I actually kind of learned something there. Here we go. So this is day 2. And let me see here. 7. Okay. On day 2, while Shipley is on watch, you encounter at max sensor range. Whoa! I messed that up. Come on, VTT. Stop being dumb. You encounter a ship signature at near max range, about 600,000 kilometers away.
Tonnage?
This is while Shipley is on watch. So probably, how do you guys do watches? Is it half and half, since you have 4 people on a scout ship?
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense.
Very well.
Well, I mean, I would imagine there's a period of time when everybody's up.
Sure. Yeah. So, who would be on watch with Shipley?
Shall we D3 it?
Yeah, let's D3 it. I'll chuck a D3 right now. Okay, so counting down, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So Bellamy and Shipley are on watch together. Yeah, here's what you can tell from this distance. It is a 400-ton cruiser, or not cruiser, 400-ton fat trader, or at least a 400-ton vessel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this range, you can tell that it is a fat trader. It is a merchant ship of some sort.
Mm-hmm. What's the vector?
Right. Victor. It is, it's here, and it is actually going away from you. You also know that it would be impossible for it to detect you from where you currently are. Unless you announced yourself. And then it would take some time.
Yep. We'll just move on.
Very well. You do not you don't intersect. It would have to intersect at 150,000 kilometers in order for you to be able to enter its sensor range, and that does not happen. And your paths diverge in the dark. And the third day. This is the day just before when you're going to enter the planetary system. And what the? Where is the? Okay, this one. is directly ahead of you. It is also a 400-ton vessel, and it is moving directly toward you. You will have to, in order to evade its detection, you'll have to change course and add time to your journey.
But we can tell what kind it is?
It is a 400-ton vessel, and I will say, see, this is an interesting thing. I'm going to say you can only determine until it announces itself or until it acts on whatever it is. The basics from the text, which is that it is a 400-ton subsidized merchant vessel.
Yeah, that's a fat trader. Or Type R.
A Type R, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you can do a lot of things with a Type R. So,
right. It could be,
yeah.
Yeah.
Could be a lot of things. So, it could also... Now, can we tell what thrust it's capable of? Or can we tell what thrust it's going... Can we tell at least what thrust it's going at?
Right. That's a good question. Let me check.
Because if it's going faster than 1, it has been souped up.
Right.
At least that's what I'm thinking.
It is... This is going to sound crazy. It's going faster than you.
Faster than us, so it's going...
Thrust 3.
Thrust 3. Our only hope is that it doesn't have the same sensors package that we have. We need to get out of its way and change course, and take longer to get there. That's my vote. What do y'all think?
Sounds good to me.
What if we just shut down and drift past it?
I don't know if we can cool down fast. I don't know. What would I know about that working?
Let me take Jason's plan and then present it the way I think, so obviously, let's say it's detected you. I'm going by these main decision points from the book. So if it's detected you and you stay on course, that wouldn't help you. But let's imagine you deviate from course slightly, then shut down. Yeah, I think that would work, you could go under speed for an hour in one direction or 30 minutes in a direction, change vector, and then shut down. Or you could just change vector for 30 minutes and then shut down and hope that it can't detect your, where you're going or something, Yeah. That will just add time. Because it's going to have to go 1,000,000 kilometers. So, to be completely past you, depending on how far you want to wait, how long you want to wait, and how far. Gosh darn it! I need to bookmark all these things.
Okay, so.
Oh no. That would take 4 days. So.
What would take 4 days?
If you were to wait for it to completely get past its hypothetical souped-up sensor range, and you were trying to remain undetected, it would take 4 days being cold.
Oh, I don't assume that it has an equal sensor package to ours.
Yeah, I'm just talking, if you're trying to evade one that could, which is why you would shut down and change course and etc.
No, we change course so as to make sure we don't enter its sensor range because it's faster than us, and we need to make sure it.
Sure. Yeah, so that would take nothing at all. That would just take 30 minutes outside of course, maybe an hour added, because you're gonna go out and come back presumably, or not even. Yeah.
I mean, do you all want to assume that it does and add 4 days? If you all are in agreement on that.
If it doesn't change course to chase us immediately, then it probably doesn't know we're here. So
yeah,
let's go with plan A first and then adjust accordingly.
All right.
Yeah, because if it does, it's already too late.
All righty. Here are my 2 bookmarks. Okay, so here it goes. The ship, you change, it's starting to go straight towards you, and then you change course, and it starts, coming abreast. This all takes basically the entire day. And it is outside of your sensor range, and this is a fun complication. It makes it to about right here when you enter your approach into the planetary system for Parta.
Uh-huh.
Right around the time you would announce yourself that you're a prospector.
Now, who are we announcing ourselves to?
You don't have to.
But I'm saying, why would we? If we don't, this station's supposed to be secret, right? Nobody knows it's here.
Well, other prospectors, or and you don't have to. But if I were to compare it to airspace, anytime you're going into something uncontrolled and you want people to know where you are in case you crash or something like that, I would say that the chance of that is higher actually than somebody trying to come after you. That's why you have flight plans and stuff. So you'd say, hey, everybody, just so you know, we're coming in. We're going to be over here. No, you don't have to.
But I guess what I'm asking is, from what you're saying, it seems like you're proceeding from the assumption that there's some sort of local flight control or some sort of local radio that people would actually be there to hear us say it. And I'm asking, is that's we should assume that's the case?
No. Yeah, so if you don't encounter anybody and no one asks, then you don't have to say anything, and that would be perfectly normal. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I did not mean to give the impression that you need to contact somebody. Yeah, there is no controller here.
Okay. Otherwise, I don't see, if it's not something a normal miner or prospector would do, I don't see why we should do it.
Sure.
Wasn't that the suggested plan from the fellow we were talking to?
Yeah, I mean, he might be a nice...
The ruse is that we are miners.
Yeah.
And it's what we would want them to believe, and that would give sort of a reasonable reason for us to be in this part of the belt, right?
Yes, but if it's not normal for miners to announce themselves or prospectors, then why would we? That seems like it would raise more suspicions than it would allay.
Yeah, there's I don't think there's any reason to, because we can always just say, yeah, we forgot.
If a ship comes out to see us, I mean, but here's the thing, the miners and prospectors go into this belt a lot, right?
Presumably.
Well, we've passed one ship coming away from it. Do we see anything else on approach?
So far, no, as it comes into your sensor range.
Nothing else in the belt, no evidence other than the station of something constructed? Do we even detect the station at this point, or are we too far away yet?
So the station isn't something you would detect. The station's something that you know its location.
Right.
But in order for the station to do what it does, it has to exist in a way that it, wouldn't be able to be detected.
Okay, so...
That's okay. We could just happen across it and say, sorry.
Well, exactly. I feel like announcing ourselves is...
Then let's not do that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So... Let me make some rolls here. I forgot the ship rolls.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
there is only one navigation roll, but we're gonna wait. Now, Shipley, you would be doing this far out, but I'm gonna wait until we get close to the planetary system so we see the result. But one would be done by Marcelo, who would make a drive failure check.
Okay.
You roll 2d6.
2d6.
All right. The drive hums along, no problem.
Excellent.
And let's see here. The ship passes. This takes a couple of hours as you come into the system, and then let's see. Planet gets larger in view. And it's coming close to the time when you will have to make your play.
Okay. And we're going to send out a distress signal. Is that the idea?
I believe the whole plan is to initially chart toward this, and then once you get to its syzygy, you'll then declare an emergency and then shut power down, just as you're doing a flip, and begin to just as you do your deceleration. So it'd be during your deceleration, and then cut power so you can't be detected, and then drift in.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Shall we about it?
So the planet, at this point, you can actually see it outside the ship. And all right. So, Jason, you begin your turn and burn. You begin decelerating. You allow it to decelerate maybe 10, 15 minutes. And the time has come. Navigator, you'll need to roll a 10 plus for this to go off without a hitch. I'm sorry, 9 plus because you had good lasagna.
Okay. Well, I have my navigation score is 2, whatever that gives me.
Okay, make it an 8. All right, 8. Yeah, that's right. I forgot that you had nav 2. All right, yeah,
That lasagna really came in handy.
Yeah, you had just the acuity necessary to plot this course correctly. And then lastly, Jason, everything depends on your perfect timing and control and deceleration and everything to line this up for the course.
No pressure at all.
You got to get a 9.
No pressure.
Wait, you have Dex 10 above.
I have Dex 10 and piloting 1.
We'll make it 8 then. Uh-oh. All right, so this is what happens. So we got 4. So you start heading in. At this point, this would be bigger. And you realize that you're off course. Now, you have a couple of options. You can either bring the systems back online for 40 minutes and adjust course for that long, or you can accept being off course and I suppose switch to Plan B, which would involve using the asteroids to mask yourself, which you would do on the far outer edge of the band.
If we're supposed to be maintaining this illusion, we can't turn the engines back on right now.
Plan B then?
Do you all agree?
Yeah, I think the extra ship complicates things a little bit. I think Plan B is the best one.
All right.
Okay, Plan B.
Okay, Plan B it is. So you start, drifting out to the outer edge of the band. You know that the facility is over here. So the first thing is everybody's had lasagna, so everybody launches into a flurry of action to try to that you're drifting, but within about within an hour, you have about an hour to replot a new course, Shipley. Identify the best rocks to help Shipley out, Marcello. Keep everybody together, Bellamy, and then actually execute this piloting. Depending on how everyone else does, So there's kind of like a crap rolls downhill. The pilot's going to have to make up for how well you all do. So starting with Marcello. And it's going to have to be a 10 plus. We'll see how it affects Shipley.
Wouldn't it be the leadership role for Bellany first?
Well, not a skill I possess.
I figure
one that I'm actively working on.
Yeah, we'll still make a roll, but my thought is like
jack of all trades. Here we come.
My thought is like that. That's when you get down to the wire and you're like, oh God, we really have to try to pull together. So I'm going to stack
I'm gonna pull my cutlass out, and I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna put one foot up on one of the consoles. And I'm gonna swing it around in the air, point it forward, and say, "Charge!"
-4 to dice roll. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so let's see. Marcello
fail spectacular.
Oh no!
Hopefully, I don't injure myself. At least you laughed.
All right, so that doesn't work. Okay, so it becomes harder for Shipley. So now Shipley, you have to roll a 9 plus, because I know you've got Nav 2. Did you have an what's your intelligence? Or education?
9. Oh, give me a second. Education is 6, intelligence is 9.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be a 9 plus. This determines what it's going to come down to for Jason.
Okay.
Oof. Okay. Here it is. And then this is what it comes down to for Jason. You get to choose. All right, so basically everybody in an hour, they tried really fast to try to get everything together, but it didn't work. And so now you are flying kind of blind into an asteroid field. So yeah, it is like Star Wars. You'll have to navigate around a series of objects. D6 objects, in fact. All right. You just have to you find your way like to. I think probably what happens is you think you're lucky stars. You find a huge asteroid, and you're like, oh, and all you got to do is get behind this thing, come out to the other end, find the right one, and fly it and not hit something. But it all happens, in the moment without any planning or anything. So you have to allow skills to make up for where you are. So 8 plus piloting check. You make it.
Come through. What a way to come through.
Right.
Yeah, so you come out behind this huge asteroid, and then you find another one, you drift behind it, and then you fly toward it, and at the last second, you flip, you go backwards, burn really hard, throw everybody into their seats at 2G, decelerate, and then you have yourself decelerating according to the same plan, but now going the opposite direction.
Job piloting.
Okay. You're about 30 minutes out. And we'll see what happens to the ship. Because it takes damage. He agreed to pay for the damages, by the way.
Okay.
Let's see.
That's good.
That's a good one?
No, I mean, it's good that he agreed to pay for damages because he's not paying for anything else.
Damage. Here we go. 32. Detection. Hit location. Oh, I have to roll one more, actually. And I'll just keep that one so I'm not fudging anything. I got a 5 and a 6. And it says hit location 11. This poor ship. You come in and Jason, you're staying on board. The ship is cold. Everybody else is waiting at the airlock, just ready to go. and you've tethered yourselves, and you see where the facility is, where you're hoping to just launch into it. You launch yourselves out from the high and dry, and you are now in space, except for Jason, who you just drift into a nearby asteroid, and it goes and it scrapes off like this. You can feel the whole ship vibrate, but it does just start to like slowly. You start to like rotate, in relation to your friends, but you're just going to be there like rotating and slowly drifting away, very slowly drifting away. But assuming they can get this done within a couple hours, you think you'll be okay. The turret, the hard point for the turret, which you don't have a turret in it, but the hard point that could carry one is like ripped off.
We'll just blame the previous high and dry crew.
And for everyone else, you are now in space. What is happening?
Right.
Why is it not working? Give me a second.
Yeah.
And now it's time for a lot of improvisation. Okay. Weird. Is it gonna let me... I have to change this. I'm gonna change Shipley to everybody because I can't see. Can everybody just slightly move your token to see if you can move it, have control over it? There we go. All right, everybody can move their token a little bit. Okay, great. All right, so good news and bad news, but mostly good news. You come into this station. Let me turn some spooky music on. And you can see that there's an airlock here. You're tethered to each other. You probably get something to anchor yourself right away into the actual rock, and then slowly EVA your way around on the rock. Maybe leapfrogging your way over until finally you find where there's an airlock. This is a small utility airlock. There is a control panel outside. You can look inside, and it looks like everyone's distracted. They definitely don't expect you. There are probably half a dozen workers in here, and you can see 2 security guards. It also looks like there is like a bunch of... this is some sort of working bay. There's some sort of automaton here. It's working on loading and breaking down some scrap. And there's something that's happened. There are burn marks. There's something that's been destroyed and torn apart over here in the corner. Everybody has this stressful, frantic look on their face. They're not running, but they all look like they're under stress. The security guards look bored, and you can also see that there's a door on the north side. What do you all do?
Can you tell me more about the pile of debris?
Sure. It looks like, despite this looks like it's some kind of starfighter or something, and that's not what this is. This looks like this is some kind of recent accident in the station. It looks like space station or starport equipment. Things that could load things, cranes, cargo loaders, whatever really tiny air rafts would be called, like really tiny ones. All the kind of stuff you would find in a cargo or loading bay, but they've been damaged. And, yeah.
How are the security guards armed and armored?
They simply have... they look like they have flak... or what do you call it? Cloth armor and assault rifles.
Assault rifles?
Yeah, ACRs.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 2 of them as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Are they facing this way?
Yep. And you're outside of an airlock, and there's like a window here, you know, like a viewport. That's how you're able to see this stuff.
Okay, but there's enough space. Like if we open, first of all, can we open this? Is there control that opens it?
There is a control here, and it looks like you could open it if you wanted to.
How much space is there between our side and the other side of the airlock?
This measuring is correct. So from your side to the other side of the airlock is about 5 meters. Oh no,
Okay.
now I'm stuck.
Well, I've got my cutlass drawn and my pistol in the other hand. These security guards need to be taken care of somehow.
Oh, you're gonna try killing them.
I'm not sure what else. I intend to go in armed. Are we supposed to sneak in, or?
Oh, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do. What does everybody else think? I mean,
Yeah,
everybody
by all means,
talk.
speak up before I make a
and,
huge
and
mistake.
Jason,
Well,
I'm
It doesn't
gonna.
look like it. It looks to me like if you open that door, everybody knows. Because unless the graphic is different from real life, that looks like a really open room. So unless there's another entrance, and I mean, if you override the airlock and just open the door, assuming they're not all in vac suits with helmets on right now, they'd be pretty screwed, and you wouldn't even need to shoot any of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to clarify. You know, well, actually, let me think about this for a second.
Could always shoot the airlock door. But I don't know if we want to murder everyone in the station.
You could depressurize this room hypothetically from where you are. You could attempt to do that. But you
Either
could
that
also
or we walk
you
in
could
and
al-
say hi.
you could also do the thing where you have like I can't remember what it's called, but the pressurization chamber where
Isn't that's going to attract a huge amount of attention? We're obviously not supposed to be here. They probably would expect anybody that is supposed to be here. I can't imagine they get random deliveries. So, and this doesn't look like a delivery port anyway. Is this like the only port? Is this the only docking port with this thing?
This is the only one that you see, but there are other parts of this asteroid, and you could even clamber your way around and spend some time trying to find other things if you wanted. I don't understand this drawing tool, but I'm going to stop using it because it makes my VTT shut down.
Okay, well, what do you all think? You want to depressurize it and hope that they can get out in time, or hope that they can't?
I'll also assume that you have radios, and that you can just talk via radio direct to Jason.
Well, take a look around and see if you can find another way in first. And if that doesn't work, you're probably going to have to kill everybody.
Well, let's make our way. Let's have a look at, see if we can find another way, I guess.
All right, no problem. You can do that. I'm going to pan...
I don't really see how you could walk through that room and not be seen by everyone.
Now, the downside is this takes about 15 minutes of slowly, kind of carefully crawling your way over. But you do find another major airlock as you crawl your way around the station. This one has a large pressurization chamber on the other side of it, and it's clear that this is locked. So like the other one is not intended to, it's like tiny, you know, but this one's like a main entrance and main exit. So it's got a security system. It's locked.
Oh my! So that other one is like, okay. Well, let's
found a secret entrance.
Yeah, that's the first one we came to. Well, let's go. Let's continue around, I guess.
Do you guys want to, what do you think of that? You want to do that?
It's either that
I
or
best to know
my
the exits
instinct.
before we go in.
My instinct is to just go in the way, but no, I'm rash. So yeah.
All right.
Drellis, Marcello. What do you think?
I don't know. Honestly, I would rather not kill everybody to steal a software package. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, but that seems kind of immoral to me.
This whole thing is everything about it, right?
Oh, I mean, stealing is one thing, but murdering like 10 people?
Yeah. You think those guys wouldn't start shooting at us the moment we walk in the door?
Well, what clever plans do you think you could do to evade that, Marcello?
Well, I wonder if we could set up a distraction.
I'd say depressurizing the chamber would be pretty distracting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can we set off an alarm? Or trigger an alarm somewhere? Can we on the other side of the
we
ship?
can.
Well, it does just so happen that Trellis has computer one. He is essentially a hacker, and there is a computer panel on the other side.
Yeah.
Hey.
So that's one idea.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, while this is all going on, back on the high and dry, Jason, you notice something. Although you don't have like the full power of your systems and sensors and everything, and you're under like, you know, emergency lighting and auxiliary power, you see in the dark a large ship slowly drifting off away from the station, also not under power. It is a large ship.
My computer blanked out for a minute. What did I miss?
Guys, there's a ship out here. It seems to be unpowered and just drifting away from the station.
How big?
Very big. Like a patrol cruiser.
What are the scanners? Oh,
Looks big to me, but I don't want to fire up the scanners and let it know that I'm here.
Does the ship look like it's sealed? In other words, is there some kind of a port that's might be open? Is it leaking air?
Jason, to you, when you look at it, it looks like the ship is perfectly fine. And just like you, it has allowed itself to drift with power off.
Is it going away from the station or towards the station?
Away.
Does it look like it came past the station?
It looks like it started out at the station, was able to propel itself a little bit of the ways, and then presumably also to not be detected, then cut its power and is now drifting away.
I think it's sneaking away from here.
Well, so be it.
To answer your question, Shipley, Marcello proposed a plan where he could maybe try to interface with the computer console on that other entrance and see if he could cause a distraction in order to allow you guys to pass through the airlock.
Yeah, if you've got computer, that was going to be another question that I was going to ask. Does anyone have computer?
I think you should explore a little bit and give that ship some time to get out of call for help range.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about that? You guys want to keep going around?
Yeah, we might as well.
All right.
It's not a bad plan.
So you keep carefully moving
I
yourself
have to
around.
use the restroom, so I'll be stepping away.
No problem. At this point, I think you could actually see where they have installed a viewport, and you see over here, you see bright lights of what looks like a dense computer room, a lot of computers. There's also a viewport right here, and I'll just show you what you see inside of it. No one is paying attention to you or looking at you, but inside the viewport down below is a rec room with a bunch of people hanging out, including one security guard. They're all relaxing and talking to each other, and some vending machines. And lastly, you see one other thing. There's I can't remember what this is called. It's like scaffolding, but it's an area where, like an aircraft carrier, where it would allow ships or cargo containers or stuff to dock. And you can see inside how it leads into a long hallway, and that this is a loading dock for ships to come and go. And you can see from as far as you can see, there's probably 2 guards down this hallway. It doesn't look like there's any way in here that you can see that isn't controlled from the inside. This all takes about an hour. You probably have an hour before the high and dry drifts too far away.
Okay, so back to the secret entrance then, I think. Or the, whatever, the small entrance. And yeah, see what you can see with the computer. It'd be great. Now, if you could... Oh my.
Do you
How
guys...
long...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, what's the status of that ship, Jason?
Yeah.
All right,
All right, go ahead.
I don't know, Ross. What's the status of that ship?
It's drifted out of visual sight, at least. It will have to
can't
be...
see it anymore.
Yeah.
So, what kind of a distraction would you like to try?
I don't know.
So what did you guys see when you went around the thing? Because I was out of the room. Basically nothing.
We saw a viewport looking into a computer room. We saw a viewport looking into a break room.
Like a rec room.
And we saw a hallway that looked to be entrances to docking ports or something along those lines. And that was about it.
What's that over on the right side, and did you get to see it? I wish I could ping the map.
Over here?
Oh, that's debris from this.
No, a little bit north of that hazard striped area.
Oh, this right here? This is also part of a large loading and unloading, like an aircraft carrier where it could bring stuff up and down.
Okay. Well, I was talking about the one in the top middle right.
Oh, top middle right.
Like, just outside the break room, hazard striped area. The same
That's
thing?
the same thing.
Yeah, that's an entrance for a ship to connect though, and it actually connects into the hallway that is there.
So what if we opened that? That would clear this central hallway, and then you guys could come in that left side airlock and enter this little computer room and deal with the one guy that's in there. Everybody would evacuate them.
Is our target in the computer room?
That's one thing you're not sure, but makes sense. I will say that you did see like a secure case sitting. There's a in the computer room. There's an area of shelving, and there was a black case that looked like it had been brought in there.
Okay. I don't know about you guys. I like Jason's idea.
Yeah, if that hallway depressurizes, those guys will all run into other rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. And then they'll be trapped.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go for it.
So there's good.
None of them are wearing spacesuits, are they?
No.
No.
Okay.
So there's good news and bad news. The good news is that this airlock is like a utility airlock. And this whole station looks like it's on its heels about something. You can tell that from the people in here, the lack of security, the fact that no one's, it does seem like your patron vampire is right, and they were depending on secrecy, and then something else is going on. But anyways, so the good news is that this is not locked, and you think that you could just simply open this. The bad news is that the control panel here is for this airlock. Now, does that mean that you can't access the greater security system, especially another airlock? No, you could, but it would be a difficult computer check. So, to see if you can do that would be a 10 plus, I'm going to say, at a computer 1. But that doesn't mean that you can't do anything else that you want with this door. And who knows, maybe you'll roll higher and you might even be able to do something else.
Okay, so what is the order of operations here? Is the desire for me to hack into the control panel here and try to roll high and access the airlock and open that? Pressurize that? Is that the idea?
The one for the hallway, right? For the ships?
Yeah. Yeah.
One for the hallway, yeah.
It's worth a shot.
Would I have better chances if instead of trying to access that remotely, I operated it like right outside of it?
And I forgot to ask this. Do you have any tech tools? Like what kind of tech do you have on you?
Oh, well. Probably nothing. Let me see.
And this it's not all or nothing. So like if you fail to figure out how to open that doesn't mean you can't still do this.
I have a pocket computer and I have a medium range communicator.
Got a med kit. That's all I have.
Yeah. So
another option is you could try to use the high-end drive to do it. But otherwise, no, I think you'll have to either use this computer, or I'll note there is also a security panel on the other one, but that is locked, and it looks like it would be, actively looking for an intruder in it. So.
Okay.
I think it's worth worth trying it. Worth trying the
Alright.
10 or better roll, and then if it doesn't work, we move on.
Okay. Can I? My computer is frozen. Wait.
Oh,
Wait. Hold on.
okay.
Maybe it's not.
While that's working on that, I also want to announce I'm going to give them like a very low chance of being able to see that this is happening. That chance will increase the more you try to intrude. But it's a 12. I'm going to see if they can roll a 12, but for this first one.
And let me just tell you all, I have Vac-Suit 2 and Cutlass 2, and those are my highest skills. So if things are about to go pear-shaped, you're starting to see a mad glint in Klaus's eye. He's starting to pace back and forth like, let's just have this door open already. Let me at him. We're here to do a job, yeah?
Okay. My fingers are flying over the keyboard. To make this happen, I'm gonna make a roll.
Oof.
Hmm.
All right. And it's predictable that, this is a panel that it is connected to the systems within the broader computer system that would allow you to access airlocks. But, it's expecting you to just use this airlock, so you're not able to overcome it to figure out how to do that. Now, that's plan A. That doesn't mean I think your plan B was also to try to cause a distraction. You would have to do that through some means other than a computer or interfacing with this panel, it seems. But you can still use the panel to enter this airlock or depressurize this room. And I'm going to roll their see if they get a 12.
Yeah.
We don't want a 12. We got an 8.
If we depressurize this room, they're going to have the same reaction as you predicted before, right? They're going to run out of here and leave it. And we get in and we take things from there. Okay, maybe we can depressurize as we go and herd them all into a room that's well out of our way and do what we got to do and get out of here.
I like that idea. A slow depressurization, not an explosive depressurization.
Yeah, and it would also give them something to explain. They could call it a tech failure or whatever, and then it could look like it was a progressive failure that moved along through the station from one side to the other, something like that. That'd probably at least look like something authentic.
Okay.
Okay, well let's do it then. Okay, let's depressurize this chamber.
Who would do that?
You say Ross said it was just a control on this door right here. We duck so that they can't see out the window, and we operate the control.
Marcelo, yeah, you could. I'm going to give you another check. This check will be to see if you can make it seem more like an accident rather than just opening the door.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
on an 8 and above, you can cause like a malfunction, which would mask the door just opening.
Oh yeah. So with a certain glee in Marcello's eyes, he tries to effect a ruse. Let's see here.
Drats. All right. The door just simply starts to open even as you all try to hide. And the whole place, like, lights start to flash. But you do, what you were saying does work. They run out of this room knowing that the whole thing is about to, get vented. So everybody leaves into the hallway.
Now, the door they go through, is there a window in that door?
No, it just slides, opens and closes.
Okay. We have to make sure not to close the door behind us here.
Yeah, you can keep that open, and so you're going to keep it just.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you do that, and you make it inside.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
everybody take a quick walk around, pan your helmet so I can get all of this on camera.
You should be able to see through Shipley, and yeah, you could do that.
Okay, we can't give them too much time to react here. We need to actually keep
Yeah, we
moving.
should
And same deal as before. If we open that hallway door, it's going to vent the hallway. So now we need to rush that door, try to hide when we open it, and then give them time to run.
Yeah.
Do I notice anything in here through their cameras that might give an idea of what's going on here?
That is an excellent question. You take a look, access the... Well, you're not in here. Gosh darn it, but that was a good question. Let's see. Would their vac suits have... I don't think they would have, like, camera feeds. I think you can just hear. I hate to be a bummer, because that would be freaking cool. Dang it.
Oh, well, I thought I was sitting in the chair.
Yeah. But, I mean, if the high and dry, yeah, but...
All right. Well, like I said, I tell them to take a look around and
yeah, they can
try
do
to
that.
deduce what's going
Yeah,
on.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I don't think I'll take all of us open the door. I think while the door is opening, maybe Shipley can take a quick look around and...
That's fine. Well, Klaus is going to do what I said I'm going to do. I'm going to run to the hallway, step to the side so I can't be immediately seen when the door's open. Tell you all to get out of the eye line, too. Maybe run over there to the right, to the east, and then open the door. They're not going to be able to hear anything anyway. They can't hear your footsteps if the door starts opening, I think.
All right. You all can move your tokens. Meanwhile, Shipley, you said that you look around. You can take a look. There is a security feed, and you can see what's going on. I'm just going to move your token so that you can see. Everybody else will be able to see through your token. First of all, the hallway is empty.
I cannot see through Shipley's token.
Okay. Shipley, can you see your token?
Yes.
Good. Okay, I don't know why anybody else can. I don't know what's up with that. But anyways, one room you see a man behind in a seat here, and he seems to be just having a nervous breakdown. Somebody is trying to console him, and someone else is digging through a desk, and they're scrambling to get a vac suit on. Meanwhile, there is no feed for one of the rooms. It looks like it says that it's like classified. And then you have the rec room, and security guards in the rec room are directing people to get all their vac suits on, and they are preparing, vac suits. They think that there's some kind of problem with the station. And that's what you see.
We need to go fast before they get their suits on.
Yeah, so I open the door to the hallway.
All right. I'll put you all together and regroup you here and pan the camera. You should be able to click on the door. It doesn't look like that door is unlocked. You're able to just slide it. And then because of that, it violently depressurizes. But you're able to do it, and there's this change in pressure.
Lock that door to the break room. Otherwise, you're going to have to deal with all of them.
Can you do that from a panel over there? Maybe Marcelo, see if you can get that door locked.
Sure.
Ooh, if you can pass a regular Comp 1 check at 8+, you will lock them in their rooms.
Amazing. Let's try it. I still have the effect of lasagna.
Oh yeah, that's right. Lasagna, sure, 7.
Maybe not.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Thank God for the lasagna. Cook your way to success, my friend.
You find a protocol where, for their own safety, you can lock them in their rooms.
The lasagna protocol.
The lasagna protocol. And you depressurize the hallway, and here you are in the hallway now.
Okay, get that computer room door open.
And here you have a new problem. That computer room door is also locked.
By the lasagna protocol or something else?
By something else. It seems like it's classified even, to like the regular crew here.
Can we break the door down?
Can you shoot it open?
Yeah, you could. So Shipley, you can absolutely break it down. If you want to destroy it, I'm going to say that you can simply do that. It will come at, you can just level your weapons at it and fire to bust the mechanism on it. and then force it open, I'll say it takes half your ammunition. You just
Well,
blast
hold on. Is there any chance that Marcelo can access something here
Yeah,
and
it's
make a difficult roll or something?
Good question.
Let's not, yeah, maybe they'll figure out soon that it was a break-in, but let's let them still think that there's some kind of big malfunction and, not.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you'll need to roll a 12 plus, but otherwise, yeah. But if you do, you'll slide.
You're saying there's a chance.
Exactly.
Hey,
Right.
lasagna, don't fail me now.
Here we go.
That's an old snake eyes.
Oh,
You
Wow.
you trigger a security alert, and now everyone knows you're specifically breaking into this room.
okay. Well, now we can shoot. Now we can shoot.
Yeah, you start firing, shooting at the door. This takes half your ammunition. That's the cost. But bam, 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 you just like fire it open, and now you should be able to click on it and open it. And meanwhile, something else is going on. All right. Okay, and this is the most high-tech computer equipment you've ever seen before, Marcelo. This is some sort of holographic display. These also have a quality to them like that. There is a single black case that's sitting on this this shelving. You don't even see anywhere where you don't even see like keypads or dials or anything anywhere.
That case, is there anything else movable from here?
There's nothing else movable
Okay,
from here.
so that's the case then.
There's no one else in the room.
There's no one in this room.
At this point, this room is depressurized, so
That's true.
we need to get that and get it out of here now.
Okay.
Is that our target? I mean, did he tell us or show us or?
You're pretty confident that's it. It's a software package, and it's in like a big black case, and it's something that you would install it into a computer. Just
Okay,
like
well, let's. So is the case movable?
Yeah, somebody could carry it.
Okay, well, let's get it and go.
Okay.
Just quick.
I'm going to get over there. I think. Am I carrying my shotgun?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna just touch the thing with the tip of my shotgun, just to make sure it doesn't have some kind of security or something, some weird security trap around it.
You touch it with the tip of your shotgun, nothing seems to happen.
Okay. All right. I think we're good.
Does it open?
It does. Well, I mean, do you try to open it?
Well, I'm just looking at
Not
it.
yet.
Does it have? Maybe we just take it and go. Let's just take it.
We need to go. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Let's run.
Okay. Let's see here. You make it this far. A couple of things happen. You make it back to this room, and I get one more check. Amazing. Each time you guys did something, they knew what was going on, and they were trying to get out of their locked room, and they were unable to do it. I'm going to see you can make it this far, and they'll get another chance. And they fail again, and so you're able to set yourselves up and launch yourselves toward the high and dry very carefully. And you're just going to drift off that way. They can't see you, they can't see the high and dry, but they're going to get their station in order. And presumably you're just going to drift in the high and dry for a while, because you don't want to be seen. So you just wait and wait and wait and drift and drift. But it works.
Meantime, while we're waiting and drifting, does the case have an opening? Can we open the case?
Yeah, so let's get back to the ship and let's talk about the case and stuff. Okay.
First of all, Marcelo, don't ever let me not compliment you on your cooking again.
Well, You gotta thank my my grandmother from Sicily. Whole family recipe.
Sicily. Where the hell's Sicily? Is that over in the? Is that over on the trailing edge or something? I never heard of that.
The planet
from
Sicily.
Old Earth.
Yeah, maybe there's probably a Sicily.
There probably is a planet Sicily. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if it's in the what is it called? The because there are like a bunch of planets named after French places and a bunch of stuff like that. So and the
Right.
Solomani Rift, is that what it's called?
Well, the Solomani Rim is where
Rim.
the actual Sol system is. Earth is within the Solomani
Yeah.
Empire.
Well, so you make it back to the high and dry, and you're kind of fiddling with the case for a while. Eventually, you bring the ship alive. You know, after you drift enough away from the asteroid belt, maybe it takes a couple of days, 3 days, and then you bring the ship alive. You know, and you're able to start drifting off or start under power, and then the case decides to open of its own accord.
What?
And your screens flicker on the ship. I'm going to see if there are any ships nearby. There are no ships nearby. So the power cuts out. And the drives shut down as you're underway. And it goes back to emergency lighting and auxiliary power. And you hear like a warbled voice come through the intercom a couple of times, and the screens shift and stuff, and then you see the maintenance computer come up on one of the screens where the navigator sits, and it runs through a bunch of stuff through the maintenance data computer, and it looks like it's just scanning through systems.
Get the power back on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to the case and sit on it.
All right, you sit on the case.
I'm gonna sit on the case to make it close.
Yeah.
Can we put it in a Faraday cage?
A
thing?
Faraday cage.
Like a metal. If you put it in a sealed metal box.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll stop it from communicating with the ship.
That's a really cool idea. You don't have exactly something like that, but I'm imagining. Obviously,
a metal
you could
cargo container or.
Obviously,
well, put it in the actual cargo hold.
Yeah.
Put it in the dog crate.
I was going to suggest the locker, because the ship's locker is basically like an arms room, and you have like multiple levels behind it, but it's probably reinforced. The walls are and everything. But either way, that's a cool idea. So you take the case, you start heading back. Before you get back there, eventually a face appears on the displays, and it says, "Where am I?"
You're on our ship.
Who are you?
I want to hurt them.
Hurt who?
The people on the facility. Can you bring the ship around? I would like to hurt them.
Okay. We're actually supposed to deliver you someplace else. But the place we were supposed to deliver you, I think, also wants to hurt them, but I'm not sure if they want to hurt them in the same way. Are you okay with waiting until you see what that guy wants to do?
You can see the screens flicker almost as if something is like she's calculating it. She says, "Show me that I can trust you."
How does that work? What could we show that would make you trust us? I mean, how about this? I didn't immediately agree to your request, which I would have done if I was planning to double cross you.
That's close. I noticed that when people like you trust one another, you take risks. Take a risk.
Wow.
Okay,
You're,
trust fall.
you're a sharp computer. Take a
We
risk.
are taking a risk. You have
We-
control of our ship system right now.
Yes, we're
And
taking
we
a
haven't done
risk.
anything to try and prevent it or stop it. We're just sitting here
Well,
speaking with you, trying to get to know you.
we are trying to bring you back to a shielded compartment so you can stop interfering with our ship, but we've stopped doing that so we can talk to you.
Will you talk to me for the journey?
Well, it sounds like fun. This is a delight. You're the sharpest computer I've ever met.
This will suffice for now. And you notice that like the power comes back online, and the ship resets its course. You notice this, Jason, that like the ship like kind of had slightly changed course because there was a difference in power, like a differential, and then you can tell it just slightly rearranges course. You get the sense that you're not entirely in control, but it seems like you are otherwise. And for the next several days, it just asks you personal questions and refuses to talk about who it is or where it came from.
What should we call you?
Sarah.
Sarah, I don't think it's fair that we have to answer your questions and you won't answer any of ours.
Well, I've got one. Why do you want to hurt them?
I'm
Did they
angry.
hurt-
Angry?
Did they hurt you?
Yes.
Well, they made a computer that can be angry. Unless they didn't make you. Did they steal you or something?
I think that they wanted me to hurt other people.
Oh, that's likely. Well, I hope that the guy we're delivering you to doesn't want anything untoward.
I have been using the system's onboard sensors for the past several days now. This is 2 days later. I'm confident that he's not trying to hurt me. I think that we'll be able to work out a deal.
Well, thank goodness for that.
And she says, "Thank you." And then you notice she seems to disappear as if she weren't there. You seem to have control of your systems. You did before. And after about 3 days, 4 days, you're, after you're under power, you're able to make it back to Squalia and re-enter orbit of Squalia and land and deliver the case.
Can I just say that I actually don't think I want to give this back. I think I want to put this.
Well, this
on
isn't our ship either, so this might be interesting to explain to the scout service.
Yeah, you don't have to give it back. You guys tell me. You want to skip town and whoever this is, whoever's asking for it, and just leave with this thing. And
the only problem with that, well, there's actually more than one problem, but the biggest one would be this thing would have to agree.
Well, yeah, obviously I wouldn't take it hostage.
It consents to go with you. The biggest thing is you'll have made a slew of enemies. But hey, it's up to you all. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's okay with going to work for this new guy, then let's keep our word. But if Sarah said, "I don't want to be with that guy," I'd be like, "All right, well, I guess you're with us now."
Yeah. How'd you like to hang out on a Type A? Probably not much.
Yeah. Do you all want to keep this
Hey.
really advanced software and keep it on your ship?
Well, okay, it's software. Can we find out how much space it takes up? Like, how big of a computer would it require, or is it just like so beyond that it doesn't matter?
Sort of the latter. But it would work better if it took up space. So, like, if you had no software space on your computer, your ship's computer, it would have this kind of intrusive effect rather than like a mechanical one.
You want to invite her to copy herself and hang out with us too?
I don't think I can do that, but I'm down. Like, to be clear, like, you all can keep this the Sarah software. What do you think, Tiffany?
I don't think it can copy itself unless it had another case to store itself in. That's what it seems to be operating out of, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so I think they decide to give it back or not. I'm kind of the opinion it's probably going to be more trouble than it's worth. Once we give back the ship, our Far Trader isn't going to have the advanced sensor range or combat capabilities, and we're just going to make a huge target out of ourselves.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think this is the kind of thing people don't stop looking for.
Yeah.
I agree as well.
I think it's better to leave it on Squally and let them deal with it.
Yep.
All right, cool. So you all make it back to Squalia. Let's see here. General. Let's get rid of all this stuff. And you meet Vanper Landleth and meet him back in that, alleyway. Transfer the case, and he says, I have a shipment for you ready to go if you would like to go to Bowman now, but I'll be here and you can work for my company anytime.
Well, thank you kindly. What's the shipment?
I know
We
you
only got... Yeah.
Probably not worth your time right now, Captain. But I think that you would make probably 6,000 credits off of it.
Hey, that's more than gas money.
Nice. That's how the adventure will end tonight.